What's up everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, welcome. My name is Vilma and today I have one of those awkward videos where I share products that I regret buying. Now, quick disclaimer, what works for me doesn't necessarily work for somebody else, so keep an open mind while you're watching this video because a lot of the products here I actually liked at first, but then I stopped using them for a reason or another. I will explain as I get to them. So I'm not bashing the products. They just either stopped working for me or they didn't work for me straight away. So without that being said, let's get started. So I haven't done a video like this in a while and I do love to share with you guys things that I enjoy, but it's also very important and highly necessary for me to share about products that I dislike or I stopped using. So randomly I'm just going to go inside this beauty bag and get items out to share with you guys. The first product I have here is by Sleek Makeup and this is one of their brow kits in the shade medium. I love Sleek Makeup. Really like their products. So it comes with a mirror and then you have the shades right over here. You have a powder and a cream, and then it comes with tweezers, a little brush, and something else. I think there's two brushes in here. I'm not entirely sure. I can't remember how much I paid for this product. I'll probably put the link below, but maybe not the price, but I think it was less than £10. And the reason why I don't like this, it's because it's very reddish toned. Like I'm medium tone, like on the lighter side, but this is very reddish in undertone, so it's very obvious on the brows. It's very light in the sense that it doesn't actually stay on the skin, and I used it once and I never ever touched it again just because the shade is not for me. Maybe for somebody who is of maybe an NC 42, 43, something like that, but an NC 30, this is just the wrong shade. Next I have the Maybelline Colossal Big Shot Mascara. Now this, I was so excited when it came out because it came out in the US first. Then they released it here several months later. I was so excited to try this mascara and I received it in a makeup swap. I'll link to that video in the info bar below and up here in the I button. If you guys haven't seen it, is a Canadian UK makeup swap. But I'm not impressed by this mascara whatsoever. It's not bad at all, but it's not amazing either. I just didn't feel like it did anything for my lashes. And my favorite mascara is by Maybelline. It's called the Lash Sensational Mascara, which I am wearing today. It's one of my holy grail beauty products. Love it. I bought it so many times. I hope it never goes, it's never discontinued, better saying, but this one just did not impress me at all. The wand is okay. I have no problems with the wand. It's actually a really good size. It's not one of those that kind of like bends over here, which is easy. I love those ones that move a little bit because they're easy to go in the corners of your eyes. This one doesn't do that. That is not a negative, but I don't like the formula all that much. I don't feel like it coats my lashes in an easy way. I feel like I really need to work at it. But yeah, I was just disappointed. It's just not one of my favorite mascaras. Next I have a foundation. This one is the LA Girl Pro Coverage HD High Definition Long Wear Illuminating Foundation. I've done a review on this and I really like the texture of the foundation. I love how it looks on camera. It looks very nice. But the shade is quite off. I have shade, I think it's shade 2 or something like that. And it doesn't match me. And that's the reason why I stopped using it. It looks really nice on camera, but every time I went out and I saw myself in daylight, it just made me look kind of orangey. So I completely stopped using the foundation. Now it's not a bad foundation, I have to say it again. I just stopped using it because I don't think that the undertone is correct for me. It's quite peachy and I have yellow to maybe golden undertones depending on the season of the year. I do like it. It looks good on camera. It's very affordable. It gives full coverage, makes you look flawless. but I just don't like the undertone, so I completely stopped using it. Next, I have a cult classic foundation. This is the Revlon Colorstay. This one is for the combination to oily skin, but they also have a normal to dry. The shade that I have here is 300 and it's golden beige. It contains SPF of 15. It's also a affordable foundation. It's a little bit more expensive than the previous one, around the £12 mark if I'm not mistaken. It comes with a pump. They've repackaged this. Again, I've done a review on this foundation. Why did I stop using it? Again, it's the undertone. It doesn't sit right with my skin tone. It's quite obvious when I'm not using it, when I'm not on camera. In natural daylight, this foundation looks very, very obvious. And that is the reason why I stopped using it. I think it's a great foundation for combination to oily skin. It's very, very long wearing. It looks great on camera because it makes you look very, very airbrushed, but unfortunately the undertone is not yellow enough, so I can't really use it. Next, I have a L'Oreal foundation. This one is called the Infallible Total Cover Foundation. I have this in shade 24 golden beige. It's a full coverage foundation. They claim that it lasts for 24 hours, that it covers tattoos. I don't know about all of that. The foundation does have high coverage, beautiful coverage to start off with. It looks amazing on camera, but in person it's quite obvious on the skin as well. I do like to wear it when I'm on camera. I love doing videos with it because it's very flawless, but the moment I finish my video I want to take it off because it's a full coverage foundation and sometimes it can be obvious. Now when it comes to controlling oil, I don't feel like this foundation is the best foundation for combination to oily skin, so it's one of those that I only wear sometimes when I'm doing a video, but I have better foundations in my collection than this one, so I completely stopped using it. The undertone is not perfect. It matches me okay-ish, but it's not perfect either, so it's not a foundation that I would wear outside. Next, I have a Joe Fresh matte lipstick. I'm not too sure which shade this is. It doesn't say over here. It's fuchsia, better saying. It looks absolutely gorgeous. I love shades like this. I find that they look very pretty on my skin tone, but I don't like the formula. I don't feel like it applies evenly. It's kind of like patchy. It's not a long wearing product either. It goes away from my lips very, very easily. I'm always licking my lips. I'm always drinking, and you eat here and there, of course, and I just don't feel like this lipstick stands the test of time. It comes in a different color, which I have in my collection. I haven't tried it yet, but this one, color is beautiful, but it's very patchy, so I'm not going to wear it again. Next, I have an Essence eye pencil. This one is called Extreme Lasting Waterproof Easy Glide Pencil. It is quite easy. It does glide very easily, as you guys can see, but it's so creamy that it doesn't stay in place. I don't feel like it's long wearing at all. And the shade is more of a pinkish, like a nude pinkish shade that doesn't go at all with my skin. It makes me look like I'm tired instead of making me look awake. Very inexpensive. I would say this is probably like £2 or something like that. I can't remember because I bought it a while ago, but it just doesn't work for me. Next, I have a concealer by Clinique. This is called the Airbrush Concealer. I have this in shade 2, I think. It's a very, very yellowish concealer that comes with a little brush at the top, and you just twist this and product comes out. I believe I spoke about this concealer before, maybe when I was talking about several different concealers, and I mentioned that I didn't like this one on its own. I feel like this is more of a highlighter than a concealer. If you have really dark under eye circles, this is not going to cover whatsoever. It's actually going to make them look, it's going to make you look tired, if that makes any sense, or you have to pack on a lot of product to actually cover the areas that you're looking to cover. On its own, it doesn't work all that well on me. I feel like I need to use it on top of another concealer where I'm defeating the purpose, because this is not super expensive, but it's not cheap either. It's around the 17-pound mark, if I'm not mistaken. And it doesn't work as a concealer. For me, it's more of a highlighter. And if you try and apply this too much product, it starts creasing. Now I have a Maybelline brow pencil. This is called the Master Shape Brow Pencil. I have this in shade brown, I believe, and I don't like it. Spoolie, perfect. It's quite stiff actually, which is good. It just grabs the hairs. But when it comes to the pencil itself, I just feel like the shade is a little bit off. It's too creamy or too waxy. It does not stay whatsoever. If you just touch your eyebrows, this will just smear all over the place. Is it expensive? No, it's around £6, I would say, but it just doesn't stay in place. And when you have your brows, which is something that shapes your face, and it starts fading, you're gonna start looking a little bit funny. So this is definitely not a favorite product of mine. I have another foundation here. This one is by Bourjois. It's called the Healthy Mix Anti-Fatigue Foundation. I have this in shade 54, which is a beige or golden beige, something like that. This is a foundation that is supposed to last up to 16 hours. It's supposed to give you a healthy glow. It has vitamin C, E, and B5, which are very, very good for us, for the skin and for the body. But it's not my favorite foundation. I prefer the original formula, but they reformulated, so the original formula is no longer available. That one looked a lot better on my skin. This shade is not perfect for me. It enhances my pores and imperfections. I have fine lines on my forehead, and this foundation does not sit well on my skin. Now, if this is your favorite shade, not favorite shade, but like your perfect shade, and you have smooth skin, I'm sure that this will work for you very, very well. But if you have a little bit more of a textured type of skin, this is not going to sit very well, and it's going to be very obvious. So I really don't like it. Next, I have a beauty blender, or a knockoff of a beauty blender. It's by L'Oreal. It came as a gift when I bought the foundation, the Infallible Total Cover Foundation. I believe this is for you to use on your concealer or the under eye area. I try to use this to apply the foundation. I find that the sponge is very dense, very stiff, and when I made it wet, it didn't expand all that much. I'm not entirely sure how you're supposed to use this. I was really disappointed. I know it was a freebie, you know, but I was expecting it to do something more. I love applying foundations and cream products with sponges, but this is not bouncy. It's quite stiff, and it's just going to feel uncomfortable on your skin. So if you have to buy it, I would say skip it. If you can get it for free, try and see how it works for you, but for me, it didn't work. Next, I have a hand lotion. This one is by Boots on brand, and it's called the Hand and Nail Cream for Intensive Dry Skin. It's lightly scented, as they say. It comes in a 75 ml little squeezy tube here, and I believe it costs around £1.50 to maybe £2. And this product is supposed to be for very, very dry skin, and it doesn't moisturize at all. Like, it really, really doesn't. The moment I apply this, I still feel like my skin is stiff. It doesn't move. It feels dry. It doesn't feel moisturized. I love products, hand products that say, or that claim they are good for very dry skin, but this one doesn't do anything whatsoever. It was really inexpensive, but a huge, huge disappointment. Next, I have another brow product from Sleek. This is called the Eyebrow Stylist in the shade medium, and I love how the packaging actually looks. It's very, very sleek, very pretty, and I really, really like it. Now, it comes with a spoolie on one side, and then you have a retractable brow product right here. Now, this is very dry. Look. Super dry, which can be a good thing because once you apply it, it's not going to move because it's not super creamy. But the shade is so off. It's just like, I don't know. It doesn't look nice on my skin whatsoever. For me, I prefer dark browns or ash browns, and medium shades always kind of like look a little bit too warm for my skin tone. It's so obvious. Like right now I'm wearing a product which is a lot cheaper. It's from Freedom Makeup. It's a brow pomade and it just looks really good. This would be so obvious. It's so thick, it just goes all over the place, and I was really disappointed. Next I have a bronzer. This is a stick bronzer from Rosy for Autograph from Marks and Spencer's. I love the packaging, love how, you know, rose gold is so pretty. It looks like this. It's super duper creamy, like very creamy as you guys can see, but it makes me look orange. It blends really, really nicely, but it makes me look orange. At first I thought I really liked it, and then I started coming home and I thought that my foundation was oxidizing, and it wasn't my foundation oxidizing, it was this product making me look orange. So I think it's just the product itself, like the shade, and not the texture, the packaging. It's an expensive product because it costs, I think, around 14 pounds if I'm not mistaken, but it just makes me look a little bit muddy and orange, so I completely stopped using it. Okay, this product, I just don't know. I would not recommend it. I don't hate it, but I would not recommend it. It's by L'Oreal and it's called the Infallible Fixing Mist, which looks like this. You need to shake this product because it has powders in there that separate from the fluid or from the liquid. So you need to shake it and then apply it on your skin. I don't like this. I find that the particles actually sit on my skin. The spray is quite even, but very harsh, even if you apply it from far away, because that's how you need to apply it. But it just doesn't do anything. I don't feel like it holds my makeup up for the entire day. I also like sprays because they remove that powdery finish, and I don't feel like this spray does that at all, so I completely stopped using it. And my last product is by NYX. This is a long wearing waterproof lip liner. It's still in its packaging, and completely sealed, and I'll explain why. I actually bought two. I opened one and I hate it so much I didn't even open the second one. But here in the UK you cannot return beauty products even if they're sealed for hygiene purposes or, you know, issues. So I kept it like this. I can't remember the shade. If I do, I'll put it down there. Or what's the shade? It's over here. No, it doesn't even say on the sticker. I didn't like it because every time I applied it on my lips, it completely fell apart. Like the lip pencil kept breaking. And I was just like, how am I going to line my lips if this keeps breaking? It's just ridiculous. And that's exactly what happened. It broke so many times that I threw the other tube away, and I still have this one here. I don't know if I want to give it to somebody else. Maybe it works for other people, but for me, it has not worked whatsoever. I think it was around the £5 mark, very inexpensive, but it was just a huge disappointment. So as you can see, the beauty bag is completely empty. Those were the products that I regret buying. Let me know in the comments below if you enjoy videos such as this, or give me a good thumbs up. I would love to know if you've tried any of these products here and what your experiences are, because it's always great to share in the comment section. I always read your comments and love to reply back. If you're new, make sure that you subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any future videos from myself. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you on my next video.